Okay, so good evening, everybody. We're going to do QuickBooks Online. It's review from chapter 1 through 4. And this is the file. So basically, I want to teach you today partnership. How do we do it on even using QuickBooks Online Test Drive Company, which means the sample company. Everybody has the link. If you don't have the link, just watch. You type in qbo.intuit.com/redirect test drive. It's in your chat. Okay, so now we're going to select I'm not a robot, and we're going to see the test drive company. After you press continue, it would be in Craig's landscaping. And the first thing I want you to do is work on your own name in the company name. And we'll do a little bit changes to the sample company because I want you to use account numbers. Okay, so if you don't remember, all these steps were in chapter 1 and 2. You're going to click here, Craig's Design and Landscaping Services, on the name of the company. You'll be in account and setting right away. Account and setting. Okay, so company name, you're clicking here. You're using the pencil, which is the edit key all the time on the right side. And then it opens the area and you can type whatever you want. So you have two choices of the company name. I want your full name, M.Lefkowitz, or you can write L&M Landscapers, but I really want your name in the title. So your full name and L Landscapers. It's a partnership. I could do L and M Landscaping. You could do all caps. You could type any way you want. If you did landscaping services, even better. Same as the company name. In fact, I can give you an EIN number, things like that. I can give you a number like 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Make sure you have 9 digits. That's the style. 1, 1, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's an example of an EIN. Social Security is a different style, of course, and you have the choice between the two. That's the acceptable information. Then we're going to the tax form, which is right under. We save. And we're going to tax form right under it, where it says not sure. We're going to switch to partnership and limited liability company, which is form 1065. It's the second one on your list. And then you save.
Professor, you said for now we just have to change the name.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
You see the name over here? I changed it to your name. You want to type your full name, landscaping service. I also changed the tax form right here. All of it is on the paper. So this paper, which is this Word document, class practice on November 8th, is found on Blackboard, first one in class documents or last one in class documents. Maybe it's all the way down, but the file was added for sure. Okay, the third thing we want is also to have account numbers. So we're moving to the word advanced on the left. Okay, advanced. And in the advanced, we want the chart of accounts. So we're going to go into enable accounts. You will see that it says off. We have to press, again, I always choose the edit key, which is this one. And I'm switching it to a yes by doing enabling, opening it up, and make a check mark on show account numbers. All this was taught in the book, chapter 1 or chapter 2. So I'm doing 1, 2, 3, 4 right away. Any type of changes, you press save. In fact, the book also taught over here to go all the way down and switch from 1 hour to 3 hours, but the whole class, you're going to be active the whole time. So you don't need a problem with that. But if you just want to switch to 3 hours, you could do it. Switching from 1 to the maximum is 3. It's not necessary, but you should be aware that you could do it. Okay, so that's the steps that I wrote over here about I need to enable account numbers, show account numbers, and add the tax form, partnership, limited liability. We did all these steps. So now we're ready to continue. The next step is to always start working on the chart of accounts. What does it mean, chart of accounts? You're going to have new accounts, and some is editing. Sometimes it's add and sometimes it's edit. Meaning, checking account you have, the only thing you're going to type is the account number 10,000. Saving accounts you have, so it's 10,100. You're just going to add numbers. The next one is editing because you're changing from a prepaid expense to prepaid advertising. So we're going to do this together. Okay, so we finished by saving this clip, the account and settings. We finished. We're going to close that. I don't know what we did. I think we did save. So let's check the chart of accounts. So you're going down the list on the left to accounting to chart of accounts. Take a peek under the hood, of course. See your chart of accounts. You're clicking on see your chart of accounts. Now, if your screen looks like me, you did already a great job because you have the area that opens for account numbers. Remember the rules of account numbers, it has to be unique. Each one cannot be repeated. So if I have 10,000 for checking, it cannot be 10,000 for savings. Otherwise, you will have to merge to account, and that's a big mistake. Okay, so we're going to be writing account numbers by using the pencil, which is edit on the right. I open it up, and now I can do a batch, many accounts at the same time. So here's my 10,000. Here's my 10,100 for savings. Some of it I didn't even give you. 11,000 is usually account receivable. Inventory is 12,000. So we got to prepaid expense, 13,000. Now prepaid expense, I want to change the name of the account to prepaid advertising. So we're going to go in here. We could do dash advertising or erase the word expense and write advertising. Okay, the next one is, okay, that's really the important stuff for us. Next will be truck. Okay, let's say truck is 15,000. I just want to show you an example of what it's supposed to look like. 15,100 is depreciation. Original cost 15,150, like that. So we need to save after we did these three. So usually the fixed asset starts with 1.5, and that's the reason I did 15,000. 15,100, 15,150. Each one is unique. Truck is the main account, and under it is depreciation and original cost. So like that, we need another group of 3 that's going to be new. Okay, so just to know what you're expecting to write the next 3. So first go up here and save. So you will not forget to do that. And okay, so it might be in the bottom, it might be on the top, either way. So save. And after we saved, you will see that these account numbers stayed. Now we're ready to do new. So let's follow the instructions. So we did the prepaids, we did account receivable. I'm going to continue down. Here's the group I don't have. 15,200, I want a new fixed asset called computer equipment. That's the main account. After that, we're going to do another account, computer equipment cost, with the word cost. That's 15,300, which is a sub account of computer equipment. And another sub account will be accumulated depreciation. Okay, so the main one is 15,200, then 15,300, 15,400. So we're making 3 new accounts. Okay, the group is for sure fixed assets. You have to know that. If you made a mistake on the name of the type of, it's a big mistake because it might change your whole reporting from balance sheet to income statement, and that will be wrong. So when you click new, don't ever accept the default, because by default it says bank. Up here, account type is bank. And bank means checking or savings, accounts that will need to reconcile. And also those are current assets, not fixed asset. So you have to change it. Change from bank to fixed asset. And the detail type, you're also changing. It's not accumulated depreciation, the first account. This is fixed asset computers. So we're going to have fixed asset computers, or erase the fixed asset wording and just write computer equipment.
And this is a new account we're making, correct?
Correct. So new account always gets a new number, 15,200. This is the main account, not the sub account. So the main account is just to explain what type of an account you bought. So you bought a computer equipment, you want to explain what it is, you can write a laptop. You can even write more about it, but that's the example.
Professor, there is a question in the chat asking that if are you going to post the recording in the Blackboard?
I will post the link to the YouTube because I don't have space to do this video on Blackboard. So you will have a YouTube link this time. Yes, it will be posted. Okay, so the first one, remember I want to do 3 accounts. I don't want to get out of the screen really. Instead of save and close, whenever you have a triangle, you have a choice of save and new. So it's better for us to stay with save and new. This is the main account, not the sub account. So we got to go with that. And now you're still staying with save and new. You still got the correct group, which is fixed asset. Okay, so the second one is fixed asset. Computers, we can still keep that, but it's computer equipment cost, the name of the account. Number 15,300. This time it is a sub account, and this is the purchase price for the laptop. So if you want to explain it in the description, you could write that. Purchase price for laptop. Okay, sub account of, you're choosing in here, it has to be fixed asset. So you go to the list of fixed asset. It's not the truck. We're talking about the computer now. So you should find computer equipment 15,200. And of course, it will depreciate. So we need the third account, the cumulative depreciation as well. So the way I'm going to post it, it will be a link for YouTube. I cannot do, I'm recording a video, so I can't put such a long video. And that's the reason you'll have a link. Okay, so this is everybody understand the sub account? This is the second one. 15,300 is sub account of 15,200. Now we need the third account. So we're going to go, and usually if you had the price, you would have to type it here. If you know the original cost that it comes from last year, this is where you would put the beginning balance in these two areas. But I'm not giving you beginning balance because we're going to actually make a check for it soon. Okay, so the next one, save and new. Fixed asset is still okay. This time accumulated depreciation. Okay, not depletion, depreciation. And they explain what is accumulated depreciation. So it's accumulated depreciation. If you want to make it accumulated depreciation computer, you could. It will be clear. Number 15,400. And yes, it is a sub account. And again, in the sub account, you could type the number of the account, 15,200. Remember not to choose 15,300. We need the main account. So 15,200. The second one is already a sub account. You see it's a sub. So this will be also under it, indented. This is to record loss of value. If you need more definition for yourself, you should know cumulative depreciation is the contra asset. That means it's a credit balance. And it's still on the balance sheet. Any questions on the three accounts? So you can go here and say save and close. Okay, so this is what we did so far. We worked on the chart of accounts. See, we have some accounts. I don't have time to really do all the account numbers. When you have the time, of course, it's better for you to practice all the account numbers. It has to follow the rules of one is an asset. First digit is a one, like you see right here. In fact, I'll go with an example for number two. Usually number two starts accounts payable, which is here, 20,000. And then you have the MasterCard Visa. Let's say I'll call it 20,100, 20,200. I'm just making it up as we go along. It's up to you. But let's see my instructions. What else do we need? Okay, so we have, here's another one I need. You have it probably, it's called loan payable, and that's the number. Account number is 21,000. It's under other current liability. Loan payable, 21,000. So we can go back. Let's look for loan payable. This is about sales tax payable things. Here's loan payable. Okay, so loan payable will be 21,000. And under it is notes payable. I don't want you to get confused with that. That's 25,000 usually. The higher the numbers, because it's long-term. So you can see the name, it's over here, it's long-term. And this is current. Current liability, long-term liability. Then we start with equity. Okay, equity starts with a 3. So we know it's going to be 30,000 opening balance equity. They also have retained earning over here. So maybe we'll make it 3,000, 39,000 or something like that. But between, I need accounts that I don't have yet. And because we created a partnership, and that's what I'm teaching today, that's what I want you to do. So first save. So remember the rules. 1 is an asset, first digit, doesn't matter how many zeros you have after. 1 is an asset, 2 is liability, 3 is equity, 4 is revenue, and 5 is cost of goods sold, 6 is all the expenses. So when we need new account, we're going to press here new on the right. Okay, so I need a new account. Okay, maybe it's not new. Landscaping services, landscaping income is gonna be 41,000. And here's the two new accounts. Yes, I'm putting it on the screen, you should do it. 31,000 is partner one, your name, this happens to be your name, capital. That's your equity account. So of course it's a type equity. Same thing with partner two, Mike capital. And later we're gonna give each one of them 2,000, I'll show you how. So it does say add new accounts. It's not something that exists. And we cannot repeat the numbers, so it's new numbers, 31,000, 31,200. I want to try to finish that. So we do new. We switch to equity. And that's a partner's equity. All the way down. And we're going to choose the name. So partner's equity, if you want to just write your name. So let's say this is Lefkowitz equity, or Lefkowitz capital, up to me. The word capital means investment that done by me. So I'm going to put my name. And description is partner's investment. I want you also to read the definition, which is here on the right. Partners as partners equity to show remaining in the partnership for each partner as of the end of the prior year. That's what's going to happen in this account. It's not a sub account. Because there is retained earning, it's going to be close to retained earning, and then you divide. And you can't expect the computer to divide the money between partners, because sometimes it doesn't have to be 50-50. It could be 60-40, could be 30-70, depends how they work. And also you might have even 5 different partners. So of course, you will not know how to divide that. You need to be a closing entry from retained earning to the partners. So that's not going to be tested at all. I don't expect you to know that. How to divide and where all that, because that's usually taught in intermediate, and some of you might have not taken that class. Okay, so partners investment. Again, I don't want to stay with the equity, so I'm switching here, which saves you a little bit time to save and new. Next account will be 31,200. So it's still partners equity, but the second partner, his name is Mike Capital. And remember, it's equity. So his number is 31,200. So it's Mike, which is partner 2, investments. Not a sub account, just save, and this time save and close. Okay, so basically we did the whole chart of accounts, whatever is important. I prefer to have the numbers that we need. So if I'm going to go back, I will check landscaping services and put 41,000. Remember, I used the pencil and then I have to press save. So I did another example. I could do it again. Pencil. And then you go down the list and give in account numbers. So example, advertising. Advertising will be 60,000. Automobile, 6,010. And fuel, which is indented under it, will be 600,012, or maybe 11. Bank charges could be 6,100. Whatever you want to do, really up to you. Okay, so let's go down. Let's look for rent. We're going to use rent very soon. So you have legal and professional fees, which is under it indented is bookkeeping, legal, it's accounting, bookkeeper, and lawyer. Then you also have office expense. We're going to use that. So put 63,000 on office expense. Let's go down to rent. Rent or lease, 67,000. There's plenty of numbers to play with. Okay, so we don't have to worry about it. So office expense, I gave 63,000. Rent or lease, 67,000. You have utilities here. I can do any numbers I want. Or create new one if I need. So they're right here. You have interest earned. We will need interest expense. So let's create one more. So save. We could do it now, or you could do it directly on the check. So maybe it's better I'll show you how to do it on the check. So when I need a new account, it's simple to use on the check as well. So we finished with the chart of accounts. That's most of majority of the paperwork, except that I need to add 2,000 for each one. Your hint is go to general journal, add 2,000 beginning balance for the first partner, which is your name capital, and the second one, my capital. Another 2,000 on the same day, November 1st, 2021. Okay, so we're gonna go into the plus over here. And it came from checking. It did say checking. So you could do it as a bank deposit, but it's easier to do it as a journal entry. Now, the reason I'm not doing bank deposit, the first thing that pops up is he thinks that you're going to make the checks that are outstanding and going to put them in the bank. So it's better not to do the bank deposit. Let's do it as a journal entry. Plus journal entry under other. This should be easier for you because I hope you know debits and credits as basic accounting. So first is the date. Instead of November 9, November 1st. The account that we're going to do is checking, which is increasing by total of 4,000. Okay, I'm doing it together to save time, but you could do two separate entries, 2,000, 2,000. So it's going to be a split. This is called a split. Now, why is it the split? Because I have one debit to two credits. So obviously I can't save yet because I don't have account numbers. So I need the two accounts numbers. I need the 31,000, which was my capital, and I need Mike capital, which is 31,200. Okay, so copy my journal entry. Of course, it has to agree. 4,000 equals with 2,000 on one line and 2,000 on the other. It means I have one debit to two credits. And the name of this journal entry is Investments by Owner. Any questions on that?
Yeah, can you one more time show how to split?
To show how to do this entry?
How to do split, like
Okay.
we have two credits and one debit, so can you show
Okay,
us
I'm
how
saving
to
a new,
divide
I'll
into
make a new
table?
one.
Mhm.
Okay, so two debits to one credit. Let's say I have $500 here and 100 is to one account and I put right under 400. So I already created the split. I split the amount of money between two accounts. Then I have to choose the debits credits.
Oh.
Okay, that's,
Oh, okay, got it.
I'm not saving this one. I'm not doing this, but we're gonna do a split on a check very soon. I'm leaving without saving. Okay, so this was my journal entry, which affects your account right here. Checking is now 5,201. If you still have your chart of accounts on the screen, you should see 5,201. Okay, a minute ago, it was only 1,201. Now it's 5,201. And if you still don't understand what I'm talking about, click on View Register on the right. You will see the 4,000 transaction we just did with the word split. When I touch the word split, you'll see the entry. Okay, so you see right before the balance was 1,201, and now it's the new balance, 5,201. Now it's clear? Okay, but if you still missed how to go to the journal entry, everything we're doing transactions, you start with a plus over here on the left. You plus new, which means you could do many, many things. Some of you might like to write checks. Some of you might do expenses, everything. It's fine with me, expense or check. It is easier in the check because my instructions give you check number. And also, eventually I want you to reconcile. So I want you to practice with a check. So you'll be using expenses or checks. And a journal entry will be easier to do instead of bank deposit. Just for this example. So that's what you have to find. So journal entries here, expenses or checks are here. And you're not using invoice estimates and all of that, the customer work. No, we're not. Just doing the very basic for this project. Okay, so we're ready. And if you lost already, you go to accountant, chart of accounts, accounting, chart of accounts. And the first line is checking. Another way, go to banking. From the side, banking. And you'll see here 5,201. I don't need you to review anything, just leave it. But that's the banking. And you always have here, use the register. Go to bank register. So some people like to work on the register. That's fine with me. Some people just like to work with a plus and just enter whatever they want. Either one. Okay, so now we're going to go into the instructions about transactions. First transactions is use quick add new payee as the new vendor, which means when we're typing on a check, a new name like Flamingo Realty, that's going to be your new vendor. Landscaping income is not a new account, it's the main account. If you want to do landscaping income, I'll prove it to you. I'll show you what I mean. First of all, do not make new accounts. I don't want any duplicates. I don't want any merging. So look where it is. Account number 41,000 happens to be a main account, landscaping services. Okay, 41,000 landscaping services. If I don't want to use this account, I could use another account I can use. I can use create a new account, call it fees income with a different number, maybe 42,000. But right now, if you're noticing, job material is under landscaping service. So this is the main account. These are the sub accounts indented under labor, job material. So this is the main account. See, they're indented under. So these numbers will be after 41,001, 42, like that. All the numbers could be under. But don't create a new account unless I said completely new account. So I only added the number. Okay, so we're ready to write a check. First check is simple. You don't have compound entry, only one debit to one credit. Flamingo Realty, you're paying for rent. It says use rent expense. That's what it explained. It's for rent expense. Check number 71. Amount 1750. The date is November 5th. So all the information is here. Next one will be November 29 and it's a split. Split means, again, we're splitting between accounts. The name of the payee is Staples. Whatever you see in yellow is Staples or Flamingo Realty. Those will be new payees and they're called vendors. Now, the next one, we're buying the new laptop and we're going to use computer equipment cost 15,300. Now, the next line is 125 for office supplies. So office supplies is an expense and this one is computer equipment cost. And you're going to make it into one check, which is 1125 total. Okay, so they are different, the first two. So let's go back. Okay, it looks like I'm having a problem with sharing. I might have a problem with the video. Okay.
We are viewing Word document right now.
You're seeing
Word document.
Not sharing right. Okay, it's starting to give me a problem. I might have to close the caption. My problem is the controls. We just started. Okay, so everybody should be going to plus and adding a new check. And add the check Flamingo Realty. So type Flamingo Realty and add as a new payee. And that's a vendor. Okay, it's really giving me a problem. So nobody can see QuickBooks, right?
Yes.
You seeing QuickBooks now?
Yes,
Yeah.
we are seeing QuickBooks.
Oh, okay, good. Okay, so plus. You go to check, which is the second one under vendors. I'll try not to switch too much because there is a little bit of a problem, lag time. So payee, Flamingo Realty. And after you type Flamingo Realty, you're doing add, which is right under. And it's going to ask you what type it belongs. Is it an employee, a customer, or vendor? That's your three.
Professor, it was a little laggy. How did you get to that part?
You're using the plus on new every time. And then in the middle, you say there is an expense and under it, the word check. So plus new for all the transactions and then choose check and you will see 71 automatic. Then in here, we type Flamingo Realty, enter, and vendor is the right choice and save. I don't care about the address right now. It's not for real anyway. Just change the date to November 5th. And we could do the entry right away. So Flamingo Realty was added. I type it, I press add. This is your landlord. So you're gonna pay for rent. If you didn't type rent number before, it's fine. I typed the rent before. So you choose rent or lease. By me, the number is 67,000. But choose rent or lease. Description is rent for November. If it wasn't for November, it would have been prepaid if you're doing December. Okay, amount 1750. And that's all there is. You have everything on the screen. Okay, so who can tell me what is debit, what is credit on the screen?
Professor, I can't see what's coming in the entry, like the name. It's lagging, I think. Or
Yeah, it is lagging. We
It's
can
right
see
here.
like we can see any. There's no category description. There's no amount. There's nothing.
Okay, so
You
when,
can see.
okay, right here, it's the category
Froze. It
rent
froze.
expense. Description is not a must, but it's for rent for November. And amount, I typed 1750, that's it. Okay, so the important part should be on the top of your screen. Everybody see the bank account?
Yes.
Okay, account is checking. So my question is, when you write a check, what is debit, what is credit?
Someone answered in the chat.
Okay, good,
Rent is debited and checking is credited.
correct. Beautiful. I'm scared of opening the chat now because my screen is really acting up. Okay, so rent expense, I'm done. Now you could see, I hope, rent expense, and 1750 is your amount, and your total is up here, 1750. The minute you'll be saving it, it's going to reduce the 5,201 balance that I see on the screen minus 1750. So by doing save and close, I prefer to do save and new. Let's go to the right, change it to save and new. So I can stay with this and do 72 next check already. So do save and new, and you'll be in the next check. So again, in the middle of a screen on the top next to checking, you see here 3,451. So even if the lag time, you should be able to see what I'm doing. Okay, so far I didn't even write anything yet in check number 2. 72 would be my next check. And it's November 29. So I'm changing the dates to November 29. The name is Staples. So we don't have it before. We're going to type Staples in the payee. You can do it all caps if you like, any way you want to do it. So add Staples as a vendor. So that's the quick way of doing it. And you press save. Okay, so we're done with the name and we have the payee in. So now we're going to do a split. Again, what is a split? We're going to use 2 accounts in the category. So category means accounts. Computer. When I start typing computer equipment, I don't want you to take the first one, 15,200. We want the 15,300, computer equipment cost. So you need the sub account. So computer equipment, which is computer equipment cost. And that one is $1,000. Now, under the 1,000, you go down to the next box of amount and you put 125. And that goes to office expense. So the difference is the description on the first line that it's a laptop. And the second, you can even write which it is, if it's a Dell computer, model, whatever you want to write. And the second line, we bought paper and toner. Okay, for a purpose of accounting, what's the difference between line 1 and line 2? Which one belongs on the balance sheet? Which one belongs on the income statement? I want you to think. This is not a data entry class. Every transaction, you have to think about how it's affecting my reports.
Is it the office expenses on the income statement
Correct? That's
and
loss.
the computer cost? Is that gonna be on the balance sheet?
Very good. That's the correct answer. So the first line is on the balance sheet and the second line will go to the profit and loss as an expense. If you wrote everything as 1125 to computer equipment, it's incorrect because you will have the value of 1125 to start depreciating. And that's wrong. Or if you wrote all of it as an expense, 1125 is office expense, I will never find the computer to start depreciating. So you must split the accounts. Now, again, when I say split, you cannot repeat the same account. Some students doing a good job and all of a sudden they write office expense on line 1, office expense on line 2. Totally doesn't make sense that you split because you did not use the different accounts. So if you didn't use different accounts, you shouldn't have split it at all. Office expense is the same account. Computer equipment is the same account. That's useless. So it has to be correct based on what I wrote to be split. It has to be going to 2 different accounts. We will do another example like that because mortgage is like that too. You pay the principal and you pay interest and you must split. So split, you must know. Compound entry, what does it mean? One, in this case, it's 2 different debits to 1 credit. Checking is being reduced the minute I save it. And it's 2 different debits over here. And the payment is reducing the checking, which is on the screen as well. Okay, so let's practice one more time. Another split. You're going to pay a loan payable to Citibank. That's the name of a new payee. $800 for principal, $200 for interest expense, and the total check for check number 73 would be $1,000 on November 30th. That's my instruction for a split. So of course, first we save. Again, save and new. And we're going to write Citibank in the payee. It's not there yet. So press enter, quick add and vendor, and then it saves it. So Citibank you added. Again, you go into the category. So we need 2 lines. Loan, loan payable. We're paying $800.
Professor,
Oh, Yeah.
we are still seeing check number 71. The screen has been frozen.
71, you don't see 73?
No, not even when you did 72, we couldn't see.
Okay, I don't know what to do. It looks like
I think the screen is frozen. Sometimes same thing
Yes,
happens.
I
to me
think
with
I'll
other-
get
other class
out.
too.
My screen is completely frozen.
Is it possible to restart?
I'm scared of losing it. You know what? Let me see if I can stop my recording. My Zoom meeting looks crazy too.